What is happening, YouTube? It's just your average Joe, just hanging out, getting ready to do some orders, share some things with you guys. I just got done watching Cody with the K, doing my other stuff upstairs for all my sports memorabilia business, breaking the game, East Coast. We do autograph football helmets, and autograph memorabilia, entertainment stuff like Sons of Anarchy, and we do like basketball, baseball, a little bit of hockey from time to time, but mainly football. So if you're into football stuff and football memorabilia, autographs by like Joe Montana and Peyton Manning and Tom Brady and Pat Mahomes, all that kind of stuff, I do that on Facebook Live. So search on Facebook, BTG East Coast. We also have another part of our business that's on TikTok. So it's just search the same thing on TikTok, BTG East Coast. I actually have a YouTube as well, but I don't really mess with it much. So, but anyway, check us out if you're into sports memorabilia. But I've been doing that, tackling that this morning. Got all that stuff knocked out. For those that have been around a little bit, I think I've mentioned it before that I do that. I run two businesses, do my eBay full-time, or I guess part-time, full-time, and then do that business full-time, part-time too. So it all works. But anyway, we have some sales to go over. Got some things to share with you guys. I think Cody with the K killed it. He just did a trade thing like I'm going to show off. Obviously, I'm nowhere near his skill level with editing. But I did the same. That's where I got my trade game, was Cody. I was like, man, I was inspired by Cody. I watched him a while back do some trades for, retro, using like a PS5 or a Xbox Series X or whatever, S or whatever, and using those newer systems as trade bait for older systems, and retro bundles and things like that. So I've done that about 3 or 4 times so far. I mentioned yesterday in the video that I've got a bundle coming from Wisconsin that I did a trade for. I shipped a PS5 up to Wisconsin to a friend of a friend, and they're sending all of their retro stuff down to me. One of those things is, one of the items in that bundle is a watermelon N64, which, as y'all know, those things are pretty darn rare, with 2 matching controllers, which the controllers are like 50, 60 bucks just for the controllers. So I'll show that all off whenever I get it, and show you guys the trade game, how I did it, and get into those details at that time. But for now, we're just going to go over sales. Cody with the K was saying he sells. I dropped a few comments with him. Hopefully he ends up checking me out at some point, but he was talking about selling his PS2 games for like 80, 90 bucks, and I was like, dude, was like, man, bundle all those fillers that you got with the PS2 bundle that you just got because on his trade game. And I was like, bundle them with your PS2 and you'll get like 120, 130, 140, depending what titles you put in there, so just even trying to share with him, drop a nugget, man, like, come on, man, why are you gonna sell them things straight out? Bundle them, make more money from it, and get rid of those filler games in the process. So, and then he asked about a disc resurfacer, so I commented about a disc resurfacer. I use the JFJ Easy Pro when it comes to disc resurfacing. It does pretty good for any of you video gamers out there. It does pretty good. You got to make sure you use it the right way, and you got to make sure that you're using the solution that comes with it, because otherwise you'll burn up discs and it won't work. But as long as you're using it the right way, I've had pretty good success getting discs that are super scratched to look pretty darn good, even without the sanding part. Once you get into sanding, it becomes hit and miss at that point whether they're going to work or not. So I try not to sand, but the buffing part gets rid of a lot of the scratches. So like PS1, PS2, Xbox 360, OG Xbox, Wii, and GameCube work pretty well. Wii and GameCube are hit and miss. I've noticed, I don't know why, but they're just hit and miss sometimes. Typically, the rest work really well. Of course, once you get to the new discs from like Wii U, PS3, those use like the DVD discs. You can still buff those, but they don't work as well. Those discs are super durable and they don't scratch as much. So I don't typically have a problem normally with those discs having problems. Let me know if you guys have, but I come across a lot of games, and normally the newer DVD style discs just don't scratch up as much and don't have as much of an issue. They're just more durable. But you can do the same thing. You can buff those as well. I just don't do many of those, so I can't really speak on whether those work well or not on those games, because I don't really run them through there very often, because I don't have very many of those that are super scratched up that I need to do it. So anyway, so again, JFJ Easy Pro works pretty well. You do have to get the disc for the GameCubes. It's like, I forget how much it costs, but it's on their website, but you can get the adapter for the GameCube games. So that's that. We'll go over sales. I've been posting a lot of stuff on eBay, man. Yesterday, I brought down, I think I posted like 10 systems, 2 digital cameras, one already sold, some games, just a bunch of little odds and ends that I had floating around. I've got so much stuff hanging around that I just was like, man, I got to get stuff up. My upstairs was just flooded with. You walk up in my bonus room, you see all my sports memorabilia stuff for my sports memorabilia business where I go live on Facebook, and that's on one side of the room. The other side of the room, video games that's been processed, bundled, ready to go, ready to list. They've just been sitting and sitting and sitting because I've just been busy, and lazy maybe too a little bit, you know, posting other things or doing other stuff. But anyway, yesterday I went ham and I just posted a bunch of stuff: PS2s, Wii U's, handhelds, PS1, N64, Super Nintendo, PS3s. I mean, I just went, yeah. So I still got a lot to still list. Today's Tuesday. My plan is to have most of all this yard sale stuff from the last 2 weeks that I'm behind on up by the weekend, so I can kind of start fresh. Even though I won't, I actually won't be here this weekend. I'm going to be in Myrtle Beach, so I'll be picking in Myrtle Beach. But yeah, so that's that. So my goal is to get all that stuff up. I got that big Apex TV up, that gaming TV I showed you guys, I think yesterday. There was several other items that I didn't even get to show off yesterday that I totally forgot about. I had picked up like 3 pairs of Levi jeans for like $1 a piece, all the same size. I usually bundle them in bundles of 3, and they normally go for about 50 to 60 bucks. I think they're 505 Levi's. Again, they have to be same. It's pretty much the same. Well, they can be different shades of blue and I guess black or whatever. But 3 pairs of blue jeans that are in good condition, and the same size, same type, have sold before, typically go pretty well for me in the 50-60 range for a bundle of 3. So pick that up for again $1 a piece, $3 for those 3. And then I also had a box, in fact it's over here, a box of lenses that I forgot to show off yesterday, which was also, I think I got this again, it was during the yard sale Saturday, which I got to show off yesterday because I just had so much stuff and I had a lot of stuff already inside and processed. So, and this was one of them. It was 3 lenses and then a bunch of lens filters. It's a Nikon, a Kodak, and a Vivitar, I think it is. So, I put them up as, I got that whole box for like 10 bucks. So I put it up for 150. Obviously I put up untested. But you can usually tell if it's working by messing with the camera lens and messing with the little thing that does the that does this thing that like the shutter, I think is what it's called. It like goes in and then goes out inside the lens. There's a lever. You can usually tell if that thing is working or not, and then also just by turning it and stuff, you can usually tell what's happening. Then obviously looking at each side of the lens to make sure they're not all scratched up and stuff like that. So the 2 look good, seem to be in good condition. So I put in there that the 2 are working. And then the 1 was locked up and not working. So I was like, okay, 2 are working, 1 is not working, and then it comes with all these different filters. And so I put that up for 150 plus shipping. We'll see what happens. They're all over the place, so I don't know. I'm just gonna wait. Somebody may pop and buy the whole thing, and I could have got more, or somebody may offer me $100, and I'll take it because I'm only 10 in. So there's a couple other things I had upstairs that were also part of the yard sale stuff, but I just, like I said, I forgot. So I think I did pretty good. But let's go over sales. I'll stop rambling because we're already 8 minutes in and I'm not even on track yet. So although I am early today, it's only 10:40 in the morning. I'm pretty early today. So I'm going to get everything done by like 11:30, which is nice. I did my walk this morning already, feeling good. Why am I on my sports page? I need to go to eBay. Let's do that. All right. So, let's go to orders. I think we had 8 orders from yesterday to today. 9 orders. So 9 orders from yesterday to today. Luckily, most of them were, I do have a repeat buyer. Hey. 1 was a promoted listing, so it was an older item, which is nice. Most of the stuff, an older video game. 3 promoted listings, a couple older video games that I'm sitting on for a while. And then actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 new items sold yesterday. So as you can see, it's about putting new stuff up all the time, right? Because like I would have only had 3 sales yesterday if I hadn't been putting up a bunch of stuff over the past couple days. So obviously, that's why I continue to list. It's a little discouraging as well, because you're like, I've got all this old inventory that needs to move, but it does go little by little, especially if you put the sales and promotions and sometimes go back and tweak your titles and tweak things in the listing. Can also help. I've heard end and then resell a similar. It works. It hasn't worked for me. I just did a whole batch of end and sell similar of like 100 items 2 weeks ago, and I don't think I sold anything from those yet. So for me at least, the whole end and sell similar hasn't really worked well, but it is a strategy to try. I never put a promotion or sale on anything new that's up. So all the stuff that sold that's new didn't have any additional discount or promotion or anything on it, which is nice. So, all the new items that sell, and all my new items I have up for premium. So, because I always start high. So it's nice also to see I've got 6 or 7 items, newer items, 6 newer items that sold, that all sold without any extra discounts, promos, and sold for full asking price or close to full asking price. Some of them sent me offers, and the other ones they just bought them, use the buy it now option. So let's go over sales and get going. First thing I sold was a white PS4 controller. Oh, Deadpool. So first thing that sold was a white PS4 controller. Pretty nice. $25 plus shipping. Nice condition on that one. I cleaned them up. I don't always take them apart, but I do try to clean in the cracks and crevices. This one, white, obviously shows more than anything compared to what it looked like. But when I got my hands on it, this thing is like mint condition compared. But anyway, 25 plus shipping. Deadpool on PS3 complete, also 25 plus shipping. So that started off my day yesterday. I was like, all right, not terrible. We got Mario and Donkey Kong on Wii U. I was about to say Wii U. Mario and Donkey Kong. All right, Mario and Donkey Kong. I'm actually going to test. Actually, I'm not. I'm going to just. They actually both look good. I thought Donkey Kong didn't look good, so I was going to test it, but it actually looks pretty good now that I can see it in the sun. Because I remember looking at it thinking somebody had resurfaced it, and it's got some swirls in it, but looks pretty good. So we're going to roll with it. So Mario sold, it went to the same buyer. Mario sold for $23, and then Donkey Kong, so actually, no, I'm going to test Donkey Kong just to make sure. Normally, if the discs look good, I don't test them. But because that one I can tell has been resurfaced, I'm going to just take it the extra step, and I'm going to test it just to make sure before I pack that one up. So I'm going to put that in my pocket so I remember that. Donkey Kong sold for $17, free shipping on that one. So $17 free shipping, and then the Mario went for $23 plus shipping. Next thing that sold was one of those cameras I just put up. So the funny thing, I got a quick story about this. So this goes back to sometimes just when you know, and sometimes you just need to look everything up just to make sure. Okay, so this is a Sony Handycam. Sony Handycam. So this one, I didn't actually find any that sold of this exact model. People had them up for like 60 to 100, but none actually had sold of this specific model in the past 90 days. But very similar ones were selling for around 80, give or take. So I was like, okay, cool. Well, then I already know that, well, and again, this just goes back to I'm sharing nuggets. Sometimes it's good to look up accessories for things that you've picked up. Accessories. This is an accessory. It's a dock for it. So initially I was like, I put it all together in a bundle, took pictures, and I said to myself, wait a minute. Obviously knowing what I do know about the resale game, I was like, let me look up the dock, because I bet the dock by itself is something. Well, don't you know, the dock with the charger $120, give or take. Now there's some that sold for less, but I'm not. If you got the charger, it's got two charging, one USB, micro USB, and then the power cord for it, and then this. So if you have the whole bundle, there's been a couple that sold for for 120 plus shipping. So I was like, okay, so I can either piece it out and do this separate and the camera and get maybe a 200-ish, right? 80 or so for the camera, maybe 100, and then 120 or so for the dock and bundle. So 2-ish, give or take. And I said to myself, well, the camera hasn't sold. This particular one hasn't sold, so it may sit for a while. So I said, you know what? I'm going to bundle it and put this as the main in the title. And then obviously the rest of the stuff comes with it. And it sold within like an hour after me putting it up for, I put it up for $179.99 plus shipping is what I ended up putting up for. I was like, it's pretty solid. You know, if I can get $179.99, that's pretty good. Within an hour it was gone. I wish I would have went like $220. I bet it would have sold for $220. But anyway, then me being me, as I'm searching for these and I see several other people have the bundle up with a camera and this with the charger and cable for like $60. And I said to myself, well, dang, let me throw an offer for 40 because I can throw the camera out. Well, the camera in the bundle I looked at for $60. The camera they said wasn't working, but it was bundled with the dock and all the charger and everything else. So I was like, well, dang, if they'll take $40, I mean, I can sell the camera for parts and repair for maybe 20, and then I can sell the dock and the power cord and all that for 120. I don't normally flip stuff on eBay, like buy stuff off eBay to flip. But of course, when I looked at this and I was like, there was a couple of them out there. The guy ended up sending me a counter for 55. It's sitting there. I keep teeter-tottering. Like, should I counter it like 45? You know, obviously that's plus shipping and taxes. I'll be in like $60. You know, I sell it for 120 minus shipping and taxes. I may clear like 110-ish. There's still like $50 or so to be made there. So I for just having something shipped to me and ship something back out, I don't know. Sometimes the skin, you got to have a little bit more skin in the game. So I don't think I'm going to do that. But just for folks that want to make an extra 50 pretty easy, for me, I'm just not quite motivated because I can do other pickups here locally and make more. But that just goes to show you can be strategic, even just buying stuff on eBay. I've seen bundles of video games go for pretty cheap that have a lot of good stuff in them that you could end up reselling. I just don't scour eBay all the time and look for that kind of stuff on eBay. But I'm sure there's a niche there as well, depending on whatever category, where you can find bundles and lots of things on eBay and then resell them and make money. I'm sure that's a thing too. I don't know who does. I guess is that considered like eBay arbitrage? Is that what that's considered, where you buy from there and then resell the stuff that you got from? I don't know. Anyway, probably not. That's probably not right. But you get what I'm saying? That's pretty crazy. So this sold for $180 plus shipping. So there's that. I was tickled when that sold. I was like, man. But you're also like, man, I left money on the table when that happens. So it is what it is. I think I picked this thing up for $20 maybe. Maybe 10. I mean, it wasn't much. I don't normally pick up cameras for much. So next thing that sold was a biker pad. In fact, this is it right here. A biker pad for, what's this? A Pro Pad out of Mooresville. It's a company that does pads for riding, for motorcycle riding. So Pro Pad sold for $20 plus shipping. So there's that. I think that came in a bundle with a bunch of Harley stuff that I got. So that was just a throw-in basically on something that I had bought with a whole bunch of Harley. I think I had gotten like a helmet, and inside of the box of the helmet there was actually a pair of shoes in that box with a helmet, and there was this. So they had just some Harley stuff in a box, or riding stuff in a box. Harley shoes, Harley helmet, and then this isn't Harley, but just riding pad. And so it was just a throw-in. I just bought the helmet, and the rest was thrown in. I think I still have I think I sold the shoes already as well. So anyway, that sold 20 plus shipping. Grand Theft Auto for PS4 and SpongeBob SquarePants. So it's about time, man. I got how many copies of this? Is this the premium? I've got 5 copies of Grand Theft Auto, man. I need to get rid of these. $10 plus shipping. Thank goodness. This was the regular one. Tested, nice condition. This is this one. The rest of them are the Premier Online Edition. what's the difference between, see, what's the difference here? They're different type. This is the premium edition and then premium online edition. I think I have them all in the same, listed in the same way. They all are complete. I think this one does not have the, nope, this one's got the thing too. Yeah, they're all, I don't know. I don't understand why they got 4 different titles, but anyway, that don't matter. It's sold. SpongeBob SquarePants, SpongeBob SquarePants, SpongeBob SquarePants. All right, so that's sold for $9.99 plus shipping. So SpongeBob sold for $9.99 plus shipping, disc only, and then the Grand Theft Auto complete with the map. Grand Theft Auto 5 sold for $10.99 plus shipping. I actually need to probably look at the other ones and see what they're up there for. Make sure that they're not too high. All right. And the last thing that sold, another controller. Dude, I tell you, don't sleep on controllers. That's why when I pick up bundles, here's a nugget. Whenever I pick up bundles on Marketplace, I'm looking for bundles that typically have more than one controller, like 3 controllers in the system for $100 or $120, or 2 controllers, games in the system for $100, $120. Why? Because the controllers typically sell for about $20 to $25. So if I've got 2 extra controllers that I know are going to sell for, let's say, $20 a piece, I'm in for $1 to $120. Now I'm only in for like $60 to $80 after those controllers sell. Same thing with the games. You know, if you got a bundle of games, you're normally going to get about, I don't know, $10 a pop or so off the games, after fees $7, $8 a piece, depending, especially on a PS4. You know, $7, $8, $6, $7, $8 off a game. Sometimes more, depending if you get a decent title in there. But if you got 5, 6, 7 games in the bundle, that makes up your $40-ish plus another controller, another $20. So you see how that just chips away at your end cost. So if you're, you know, I don't ever get a PS4 that just has 1 controller unless it's $80. So which happens. I mean, the 500 gig, 1 terabyte, you know, around here, I'm in a military town, so we do see that all the time on Marketplace. $80 to $100 for a PS4, you know, with 1 controller. I may go after it at $80, but typically I'm looking to get the bundles that have more stuff in it. Same thing with Switch bundles. I'm looking for the bundles that have more. A lot of people put their Switch up for $200 with, you know, your Joy-Cons, your dock, maybe a game or 2. Then you'll get other people that put their Switch up, which are like $250, and they've got the steering wheels, they got an extra set of Joy-Cons, they got like 7, 8 games, they've got, you know, an extra controller, like the extra Pro controllers and things like that. All day, I always am gonna go after the one that's got more stuff in it for pretty much the same, because you're getting all the extras in there that help bring that buy cost down. You know, you get 4 games at $30 a piece, you're in at $250. Now you're only in for like $130 on a Switch, and then you got to control even if it's a regular controller. Pro controllers doesn't happen too often, but the regular controllers still sell for like $20. So okay, now you're in for like $110. Well, I can resell just the Switch system by itself with just the memory card, the dock, everything that came with it originally. I normally sell those for about $220. You know, obviously if I add in a case, I add in a controller, you know, it goes up to $230, $240, you know, and so on. But yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at when I look for stuff. I'm looking for the stuff that's bundled, that people are getting rid of, so that way I can nickel and dime essentially to get my end cost down. That's just, to me, makes a lot more sense. So hopefully that helped you all out a little bit. So controller, again, just put these up. Literally just put these up. So it's like, you know, boom, boom, they're out of here. Somebody sent me an offer. I had this one up for like $26. It's the white Xbox controller. Very nice condition. I had it up for $26 plus shipping. Somebody sent me an offer for $22.50. Sure, why not? So there's that. Again, that was a throw-in on a system that I got. So so that's that. Total sales, 9 sales, total $411.91. So between yesterday and today, crushed the goal. Knowing what we know now, I'm probably going to have a big old goose egg, because it seems like when I do well one day and the next day it like shuts down and doesn't want to do anything for me. So I have today no sales. Well, this one came in this morning, but as of right now, when I'm cutting off until tomorrow, we'll see what happens. Hopefully we can do another, a couple $100. But my goal is to continue listing. I've got again, going back to just dropping a nugget, take a bunch of pictures of your stuff and then use idle time to list. So yesterday I did a ton of pictures. I listed a bunch, but I also took a ton of pictures of stuff, and I already got it up on the shelves. So it's in my phone. So whenever I'm out and about, whenever I'm taking my kid to gymnastics, whenever I'm just chilling on the couch, when I'm taking a break, I can just be like, dude, let me list a couple things here, and just, still be somewhat productive and getting stuff up. So highly recommend taking pictures on your phone, especially when your stuff is already processed, ready to go. And then that way you can post it again during that idle time. That helps me a lot. So I'm dropping that for you guys, because I think that's it works well. But that's it. Again, $411.91. Not too bad. So again, we'll see where I'm gonna go test this Donkey Kong and make sure this thing works on the Wii. Since it's been resurfaced, I just want to confirm that. And that's all I got for you guys. Shorter video than normal, still longer than I want it to be. I want to keep it around 20 minutes. So I'm a little off, but not terrible. Hopefully you guys got a little something from this, or just, if you enjoy watching, that's amazing, and I appreciate that. Make sure you subscribe and follow, or subscribe. I guess you don't really follow here on YouTube, but make sure you subscribe. Drop a comment. That's always awesome. I like comments. I had one on the video from yesterday already. Replied to that. I like replying and reading y'all's comments, especially when they're nice comments. So, but that's all I got. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys. I'm gonna get the stuff packed. I'm gonna take me a shower. I'm gonna post some things on eBay, because it's still pretty early. I'm gonna get this stuff packed up, and then I'm gonna head out to Jersey Mike's, get me a sub, and then I'm gonna post a break for tonight for my sports memorabilia company, and I'll be live tonight on Facebook. So if any of y'all want to come hang out, BTG East Coast on Facebook. And that's it, man. That's all I got. Enjoy the rest of the day, guys. Enjoy your Tuesday, and we will see y'all tomorrow. Later, everybody.